लिंक शेयर कर दूंगा मैं.
रीस्टार्ट कर लो.
सिस्टम रीस्टार्ट करूंगा तो फिर मेरे को टाइम लगेगा.
नहीं, सिस्टम नहीं, मतलब just the Zoom session and the YouTube, everything.
Okay, I think Zoom is live on YouTube now.
Okay, let me take a look.
Yeah, it's live. Just mute yourself. Let me paste the link. Hi, Joy. Hi, Angel. Okay, fine. It was like, I don't know what was wrong, but it was not letting me go through. Cool. Let me just check the screen. If it's here, then I can get started. I've shared my screen. Come on. So there is some lag, which is okay. Yeah, I think it's working now. Once you all can see my screen, yes, it's running now. I'm going to mute you all. So hi and welcome. Good afternoon, everybody. Hope you are having a good weekend with your family. So today I received so many tickers which I wanted to discuss from the list. We'll go through them one by one, all of them, and make sure that yes, we have everything what we need. But before doing that, I want to cut down on a couple of things here so that we can accommodate some of them. So ESQQ will be there, Apple will be there, Airbnb can be there, Amazon, I'm going to remove the short part, BA is there, Baba is there, a firm I want to get rid of, a firm, and can reduce shop. Shop is there. Nvidia is there. Instead of Caterpillar, I may include PANW or Twilio. Twilio is much better. Facebook, Google, I don't want to trade. So PANW instead of Google. Neo instead of AMD is still there. So AMD. I think I don't have any wiggle room now. QS. I want to include like CGC or any of the, what do you call, cannabis companies. So I do want to include CGC. Let me just remove this because I include PANW. Okay, so this is my list. You can add on to your tickers and then I'll pick it up and we can discuss once I'll place the Zoom link. Hi Uttam, hi David. Zoom channel ID, I can place the Zoom link in the chat right away. But the only thing is I will allow Zoom interaction once I'm done with my conversation or analysis. Otherwise it becomes a distraction. It's there, but I will only include you or allow you to speak once I'm done with my analysis. You can raise your hand if required and I'll let you speak in between. Lucid Motors has earnings. Even then I'm including. MU is there, everything is there. So We'll talk about what is short, what is not, but let's go on to the market first analysis, and then we'll pick up individual stocks. I can, let me just get rid of this table. Delete. Let me add on these. In my table, I'll just give them a separate view. Okay, so I'm all set. So let's start from ES first. So ES on Friday, as I said, 46.44 is area where it should bounce, and it exactly bounced from that point onwards. Now, where should we go? We closed above 4668. And even on Friday morning, I posted about this. And how did I got the confirmation that we are going up? We are going up when we broke out of force this thing. At 4652, I posted that yes, we are going up, because this was a morning star on a 30-minute candle. We have the red candle, a doji, and a big green. It's not a clean morning star, but it was a morning star on 30-minute. And what happened after that? Bang. You got almost 20 points. So I'm going to continue keeping my view as positive, because we closed right above this area. We are coming towards the long-term resistance line, and we have a potential high target of 4779 with a stop loss of 4668. Now we need to break out, and we might need to test this area, which will be somewhere here. So 4711 will be the all-time highs. We need to break that to have a move which can move further towards this area. The longer we move away from resistance line, the stronger the resistance will become. Now, the biggest problem which we had was that all these candles which were away from the 12 EMA now tested the 12 EMA and making a morning star here as well. But we are already at the top, so I will not call that as a morning star. So morning star, Daniel, I'll answer that once I find it somewhere here, but it's a candlestick pattern. You can Google it. Once I'm done with my analysis, I'll come and explain you that. So here, practically this is a morning star, but this is at the top of the trend. Usually it comes whenever it comes at the bottom of the trend. We have a red candle and the doji and the green big candle. This is a 3 candlestick pattern. This is called a morning star. This is the perfect morning star. So I'm assuming that yes, we might have some rally, and in our case, stop loss will be pretty defined. This will be the stop loss. 4680, 4668. This will become a very strong stop loss, and the target will be this one and this one. If we break out of 4711, expect 1.5% move in straight line. So I'm bullish on the market. ES is Morningstar positive by above 4680. Stop loss. Let me just clean this up. Annotations. Stop loss will be 4668. I'm giving 4700, but it's a round number. 4711, 4779. About 70% confident on the positive move in ES. I'm going to mark the downside as neutral. Yes, you can use the numbers with SPX or SPY on ES. Like there's about 7 to 8 point difference in SPX and ES. But I don't use SPX because it doesn't trade after hours. It doesn't give me that much clarity. I trade ES. I don't even trade SPY. SPY, if you roughly divide it by 10, you will have SPY. On the neutral side, if we break below 4668, we might come to the support of 4637. As of now, we are holding this green line, so most likely we're going to hold it again. So in case sell below 4668, stop loss will be 4680. Target is 4637. If we break below 4637, then things will change again. So I'm going to keep this pretty confined, only 30%. Triple Q or QQQ or Nasdaq. Nasdaq has been rallying, and again, like it came all the way to 389.71 2 days back, had an inside day, and it closed right towards the end. Make sure that yes, it closed up the long-term trend line on the week as well. This is the daily candle, but if you see on the weekly candle, it's making an inside week. Inside week are amazing candles. This is a perfect example of Morningstar on the weekly, and you see we have 1, 2, 3 back-to-back weeks. Now we are going to have an inside week on the QQQ on the weekly candles. The breakout here potentially could be really, really strong. I don't have any resistance until like 410, 412. So we might even touch that. If we break out above all-time highs, we will see. But the stop loss is pretty tight now, 394. 389.71 is a strong stop loss. If you see on 1-day chart, this has held. It did not break below the 12 EMA. It's keeping that in check. It was away, came back, and now it's taking its move again. Now, if we break above 399, that will be the confirmation we are going out for 412. So I'll be keeping a check on triple Q. I'm going to mark this as neutral to positive because I was short, but I will be a buyer now. Buy above this area, 393 to 395. This is the buying area. Stop loss is the 12 EMA, which is 390.46. And target will be this area, which is 399.57. And then once we break out this, we will take out all-time highs and we will come somewhere here at 412, 413. So let's take 413. So I am pretty confident on Aditya, you need to see the screen. I'm just going through all of that. There's no hanging man as of now. If you have your chart, you can share it to me, but I don't see any hanging man. And let me, this is weekly. This is not hanging man, this is inside week. And if I go to ES, inside week, there's no hanging man. And inside week are very, very strong patterns. Right now, the bias of the market is pretty strong. So I'm going to take it forward, consolidate it, and take advantage of it on the upward side. So I'm going to like neutral to positive. That's why I'm going positive here. Apple finally started on Friday, and I did made a trade on Apple on Lotus. I bought that 150 on 12, 13 cents, sold them at 39 cents. That was the only good trade which I did on Friday, along with Amazon. It's making it's making a attempt or a close above 149.80 on the weekly. This area for Apple, you see, this entire piece has been pretty tight. Now, if we look at the picture from a larger prospect, on the weekly, it is inside week, roughly double inside week. So anytime it breaks out now, this will be massive. So it's not a clean double inside week, but it's an inside week 1, 2, and 3. So the possibility of it breaking out is really, really strong. Apple, I've been keeping my content as positive, and I'm going to keep continuing to do that. I'm going to expect 151, 153 in Apple. Stop loss will move strongly to 114 and 50 now. Apple, positive. And there's also inverted head and shoulders on Apple. But I think it's more than now. I'll just keep it positive. There's a potential, but let's keep it positive. So 149 Friday high was 150.40. So buy above 150.40. Stop loss will be 149.40. Target will be 151.45. 153.11. And I'm giving one more target, 154.45. I am 70% confident on Apple to make a move. Apple is pretty strong. Airbnb did not came down on Friday. Instead, it took this support of 191 and then went all the way to 28. See, from bottom to the top, it's right in those levels. So I was expecting a short call when it goes below 191.69. It never did. So for me, my assumption that yes, it will come down and test it was not right, but it respected, it never triggered for me practically. So now I'm expecting this to hold in this area. If it breaks out of 208, the previous highs is about 215, 216. I think it 219. If we can get move over 208, this can test 229. So the potential in Airbnb will come, but it has moved substantially from 168 to 228. I think we may need to see if it breaks 208.39. I'm just giving it a neutral view now because it has moved a lot. Buy above 208.39. And you need to understand that here it needs to have at least one candle of 30 minutes above 208.39. It has tried once. This is the second time it is trying. It has to have at least one candle above 30 minutes. If it doesn't, it might come back. It may give up. So the trade will only come into the picture if we have a 30-minute candle closing about 208. And stop loss will become this area, 201 to 201.35. So the risk reward ratio here is not better. And it will take 219.94, which is its previous high, and 229.66. I'm going to keep it at 60% and I'm calling it neutral because it has already moved a lot, but it still has potential. In case it goes above this, potential targets are in line. Similar to Airbnb, we have PayPal. PayPal tried its best to break down, but again, it's keeping this area intact. It definitely made a bullish attempt on Friday. But on the weekly candles, the candle body is still too high, too big for me. On the daily candles, right, it's not clear because it's still in that range. The EMA is coming down. If we can have a move above 208, it might try to test 220, but that's something we need to check. So Airbnb, PayPal, both are moving into neutral because they did not break down. Instead, they moved in the opposite direction. Buy above 210. Stop loss here will be 28. My target is 220. I'm not expecting much. I'll have better choices than trading Airbnb or PayPal. Just to be honest, I may jump into Apple, I may jump into Amazon or PA. Right now, it has potential target of 220 and 227. If it crosses, then there is a potential to change the view about the market. That yes, it can move up with some strength. Right now, it's in the consolidating phase. You may see one green, one red, one green, one red, and maybe in that time the EMA comes down. They meet each other, and then we can have a direction which is pretty clear. Hi Vishal, hi Chris. Okay. Then we have my favorite Amazon. So Amazon on Friday came to the low point 3447. So Amazon came to 3447. By the dip, if you did, it gave you 3543. It gave you everything. If you see here, it was low at 35447, and if we go by our principle of first half hour, like this is the first half hour, this 930 close was 3475. If you entered at 3475, it still gave you about 80 points on the chart to move. And I go with my 4 candle principle, 1 2 3 4. I would have been out at 35.17, which I did, and that's it. That was my trade on Amazon. Now, what is going to happen on Amazon? Let's start from weekly. It has not seen a weekly closure like this in months. It's a higher weekly closure. It's making higher high, higher low, shows the strength. And if I add the volume here, it is really, really well. As soon as we have a closing above, like this is pretty close to 35.43, it's just 15 points. And for Amazon, that's all right. But if we can have a gap up tomorrow, I think that gap will remain intact. There's a very high potential for this to move up. It is making inverted head and shoulders as well. If you want to see it like this is the candle, came there, came back, went up, came back. Now it's right here. If we come like here, this is W or inverted head and shoulders. So there's very high possibility of Amazon breaking up on the higher side with some strength. So let me just remove the volume profile. So now I'll be a buyer about 35.43. Because as soon as it breaks about 35.43, and again, if we have tomorrow a open above 35.43, I think it will hold. It will not give back. In this case, 35.43, targets are 36.56 in straight line. This time we will not be held back. I am 70% confident on Amazon, and I am positive in it. So Amazon positive with 70%. Boeing finally had a weekly close above the channel in green. This is the weekly close. The trend is positive. I think we might hear some positive news. Something is coming from Boeing. I don't know what, but it's there. It's about to break out. On the weekly candles, this candle is there. We have 2 back-to-back candles, but we still made a higher high and higher low. And by the principle of piercing, we did not even come half. So we are still holding on to that gap which we created last week on the daily candles. So this gap is still persisting. Now, this is an excellent opportunity. If you have not ride a stock, this is a point where you can ride a stock, and it's about to break out. I don't know, we can have maybe a news coming for it. Maybe something is coming. I don't know, but this is an entry above 225. It will explode. It will not stop. It will run. Usually in last many months, what VA does, it opens, it runs, and then it gives back. But this time, if it runs, it will not give back. It will not give back, and it will run for continuous days. So make sure you have some options or things lined up for BA, because I'm definitely going to jump into this. Chris, I have 1126 options now for Amazon or BA if I'm going to pick. Not this week, but 1126. That's 2 weeks out. So BA, everything is here. Buy, not near now. Maybe it may open by above 223, 225. Keep stop loss of 218.91. Target is 231, 239. This time, I'm just calling positive week close. Do we have any pattern? No, but it's a positive. It's roughly like, if you see, it's setting up a higher high, higher low momentum. So I'm just gonna weekly close. I'm gonna call this 80% confident on this. I'm going. Baba have results this week, and Baba is holding here, and I think it's gonna keep holding here, and the results are 11.18 before the market. We can have a substantial move in Baba. So here, the only thing which I will change here is that stop loss will move up to 164.70 area, and buy here around this 167. If we can get a buy above 167, we are open for these targets. It's there, but I'm gonna get rid of it. I'm positive on Baba. It has this target, which is 173, 174, which will be a temporary target. First target will be 176, 182, and 198. So these are the targets which are lined up for Baba. Shop had a remarkable move. As we were discussing that, I think a couple of times, that 1493 should not be missed in Shopify. And on Friday, I missed Shopify. Like for the last couple of days, it was hovering around 1490, 1492 area. And then it came all the way, closed right at 1670.29, right at that point. It has potential. It will run to 1800. As soon as we break out above 1670, it will run. Stop loss is 1647. There's no stopping for Shopify. It will run. Shopify and Jumaya both will run. Buy above 16. Stop loss 1647. Target is 1802. There's no resistance in between. Nvidia has earnings this week. So before earnings, and my experience in earning is really, really pathetic. So I will not encourage to trade on earnings. But if I see on the weekly charts, it's about to make a pattern which I don't like. Here we had strength, good strength, but now market is a little bit confused. Will it be able to beat the earnings? Will it be able to set the expectations clearly, like the momentum it had? The market is a little confused. Anytime it breaks down, we have a couple of gaps to fill. Plus the EMA is also moving up to 284. There's gap here at 268. There's gap here at 233. So these gaps, which are pretty handy, might come into picture. It's in selling mode as of now. Like I'm still short on Nvidia, but it was inside day, but we still kind of made an inside day. Let me just check on 2-day chart. What is the picture? 2-day chart is also showing me an inside day. It's a bearish engulfing and an inside day. So potential, like whatever I look, potential I'm getting is it's going to ease off. So again, below 299.64, I'm looking at 281, 284. Nvidia below 299, stop loss is 306 again, 284, 281. And I'm still keeping my 60% short view on Nvidia. Then we have Twilio. Twilio is making a morning star here. So somebody was asking a morning star. So this is a morning star, a perfect example. You have the big red candle, and a green candle. So this is a morning star. And this is happening on a downtrend. We are not going up, but we are down. So this could be potentially really good move and can try to fill the gap. So once we break 310, Twilio could be a monstrous move. So above 310, it can test 325, 331. So Twilio, I am calling it positive. Morning star by above 310. Stop loss in this case will be this area 306. So these prices are above the current market price. So I just wanted to break out so that I can ride it. 325. I don't want to play smart and jump onto it early. It's a morning start, so I am giving it a 70% point. Conviction. Yes, it's strong. Facebook, as I've been saying for a couple of days, it's not going to go down. Finally, it showed its strength. It's making an inverted hand shoulders. It's complete. Above 342.90, it will not stop. It will simply go. So if you remember, we talked about this dark green line, which is coming as a strong support. Now it has completed inverted head and shoulders. It will break out. So instead of potential, now above 345, it will not stop. I'll be just jumping onto above 345 area. So above 345. See why I do this? Because the momentum in the option comes pretty strong as soon as it breaks out above that level. So I'm gonna ride on that. So all these levels came, right? So now buy above 345.30. Stop loss is 342.90. And my target here is first will be 350 and 365. It's like one of the stronger trades for me. It's about 80%. See, when you have confidence on a trade and you know these levels are going to come, you can jump onto them and you can ride them for a couple of days if they're working out properly. I've taken out Google instead. I introduced PANW. PANW is a little less liquid, but it's trying to break above this area. It needs to break 523. It has been consolidating here and it's trying its best to break out of this zone. It tried here, pushing it hard, but I need a break above 525. If it does, I can have new levels. So let me just draw some levels here just to make sure that yes, we have clear picture. So start from here. Yeah. So as of now, it's once we break 525, we can test 549, 550 roughly on PANW. I am calling it what do you call a neutral pattern because it needs to break out. But buy above 525 and target will be 549.90. I'm going to give it 60% because the breakout is still to be there. Stop loss will be 509. $509 is this area, which is a stop loss. I need a break above this blue line. If you can see, let me just widen it. This, it needs to break out. See, it's trying its best to break out, but not able to break. So either it breaks over 519, you can jump in. Let's give it 519. But 525 will be a target then. But I'm still keeping it as my neutral because it needs to break out. Then we have IWM. IWM is in the same range. It's making a flag. Which usually breaks up. So I'm going to keep any dip in EWM should be bought. Stop loss should be this 236. So IWM, buy any dip, stop loss is this. And target will be 242.53. So I'm moving my target to 242.53. 250 is still there. So I am confident on this. Lucid Motors has earnings tomorrow. And it has moved decently. Just because it has earnings, I'm not going to touch it. But I'll be a buyer if it can come around 39.53. I'll be definitely a buyer in this. Stop loss for IWM is 236.84, the 12 EMA. That's the stop loss. Let me just go back. It's this one, 236.84, the 12 EMA. RUT. 2385. Two, 385, not 15 should be the stop loss in truth. Okay, let me go back to now Lucid. So Lucid Motors needs to come back to 39.53 so that it can move further and fill the gap. And tomorrow we have earnings. So I'm not going to trade on this unless and until it comes to my 39 area. I'll be waiting for 39.53. It's one of the company which I love, which I prefer. But as of now, I don't want to trade this because it has earnings. Instead, I can include XPEV, which is again an electric vehicle company. So XPEV here, this is a Morningstar and it has consolidated. It's holding above this area. I think with the Lucid Motors numbers, all these companies will have some move. I'll be a buyer if it like comes around 48. It's running like a 1% up, but I'll be a buyer and it will be positive by the dip, buy near 48. if it comes, and my stop loss will be 46.24, which is the 12 EMA, and my target will be 51.50. I'm giving it a 60% because it's a dip which needs to come. MU, similar to Facebook, I was recommending or sharing MU. Finally, it broke above 75 and look where it closed. It went all the way to 78. It's a buy now. It's a buy. Any dip should be bought here. It will break 79 and 83 targets on MU. So MU buy, it's positive. Now 75.64 will become a very strong support area. Buy any dip if you get it between 76 to 77. Target 79.86 and 83.85. And again, it's going to be 70% confident. So MU is pretty strong. Then we have ROKU. ROKU is holding that area which we have talked about the last couple of days. It's holding this area. Tomorrow, if it can break about 275, it will test 289 and 309. So it came down all the way from 490 and kind of making a base. It may jump here because every time it has made a base, you see 1, 2, 3, 4 candle, fifth is good one. Even in the past, it has done that. So I'm assuming that yes, 270 is a good stop loss area. 275 above, it can move. And confirmation will come at 277.80. So I'm going to mark this from neutral to positive on ROKU because Thanksgiving is coming and ROKU products are sold and they're expanding globally. So I'm expecting a very good number of sales from ROKU. Buy above 277, 75. Stop loss will be 70. Target will be 290 and 309. I'm still keeping it 60% because ROKU has been on the bad side, meaning it has not shown strength. So it needs to prove itself. Once it does, then I'll move the conviction. So right now it's there. AMD, I think it's 148 area. It tried to test 148.59 and I wanted to buy above 148.85. So I'm going to keep this equation pretty simple for AMD because this was an inside day and this was the low here. So I want to buy above this area. Once it does, it will contain the momentum and carry on. So if you want to trade the chip stocks outside of Nvidia, I think MU, TSM, AMAT, these are good. AMD can be really, really good, but it needs to show some strength. But if Nvidia is weak, AMD will follow the trend. So need to be careful with AMD. Stop loss is pretty confined, 145, but it has to break up to give you a substantial move. Then everyone's favorite, Tesla. Tesla is in middle of nowhere. It has a gap to fill. It is middle of 34 and 12. So I don't know what trade should be done here. Either it needs to break above 1084, 82 area, or it needs to come down to 981 to make a bounce. But as of now, it seems it's going to consolidate a couple of more weeks because Musk has not sold his assets for 10% of the total shares he has. And he also is supposed to exercise the option of August 2022. So assuming that into perspective, I think we may see some more ease off in Tesla. 1,000 will be a really good stop loss if it breaks. So I'm gonna keep, because it came down here. I'm gonna do a reverse trade, buy near 1022, stop loss of 1,000, target of 1082. I'm just playing the trend in between. So I'm expecting it to hold this 1,000 area, which is somewhere low here, 1,001, and bounce towards this 1082 area. But I'm still marking this as neutral. It is not definitely a very strong move, but it's a move which is due. If we have a news tomorrow that yes, Tesla is doing another way to take out 5% equity, stock might bounce tomorrow. If we can get, or tomorrow afternoon, if we get a clarification through form that yes, the selling which Elon Musk had to do is about 70% complete, stock will start rallying from that point onwards. It is just waiting for that news to come out. Last is CGC. I included this one because tomorrow we have a bill coming for this. It has consolidated really, really well, and it is a bounce from this pattern. It's like a shoe pattern, which I call. People call it differently, but I call this a shoe pattern. And usually this leads to a breakout, which already has started. If it runs, we will have tremendous amount of rally in the stocks belonging to cannabis. So let's start from here. Okay. And if I have to draw some levels here, because we recently just came down. We'll start from here. I would have taken 56, but instead I'm not taking 56. I'm just taking this one. So there is a move which is there towards 19 area, which is very much possible. The stop loss is 14 and move towards 19. Buy near 15. Stop loss is 14. Target is 19.75. So if you can take Tilray, you can take CGC, you can take ACB, whatever stock you like, you can trade on them. So this is what my analysis for tomorrow. Let me just share the Zoom link once again in the chat. You all can come and we can go through the tickers one by one. All right, so I placed the link over there and let me allow you to speak. You can all join here and then we can discuss one by one all the tickers which we have. And if you have your charts, do let me know. I will allow you to share your screen and we can go through that chart as well. Anybody who wants to speak, please raise your hand here and then we can manage the discussion from that point onwards. So it's open forum now. Anybody wants to start here? People who are on Zoom call? No one?
Hey Naval, Vikram here. Hi.
Hi, Vikram.
So I missed the first 10 minutes of your call. Wanted to see if you already spoke about the market sentiment right now. Is it bullish? Is continue go or
I did discuss that. I'm bullish in the market as of now.
okay? Thanks.
Yes, Devin, you can speak.
Hi, Naval. Good to be here. My question is, thank you so much for all of these stocks. I'm in Netflix right now, and it took off on Friday. I want to know if maybe my goal is 700. I've got some butterflies on for this week. I want to know if I should be worried that it's going to blow through that, or if it's going to get there, or maybe not get there, turn here. I wanted to get your thoughts on that.
Netflix, I also have calendar spreads for Netflix, which I'm holding. I was about to close somewhere at 650, but then I focused on Amazon and missed that. So I'm in the same boat like you. It's coming at the resistance level, 687, 686. So now if it breaks over 690, it will blow past 700. The next strong support comes at 727. But if it struggles here, it may consolidate between 690 to 677. So there's a high potential. If it breaks 690, it will go all the way through to 727. 700 will simply not be a stopper. It will simply go on.
I got in some put credit spreads too to pay for the butterflies. So hopefully I can get out of the butterflies and hold on to the put credit spreads.
Butterfly, as I discussed last time, you can get rid of the middle legs.
Yeah. Thank you for that. I did that. I had some that expired this Friday. I want you to know I did that when it was at 655 or whatever. I got rid of the body for like a penny. And then it started going up. So thank you. That was fabulous. I really appreciate that.
Okay, that's good to know. Okay, then you have anything else to discuss?
Just Tesla. I'm holding my breath. I might have to get out of it. I'm wrong. So I'm freaking out a little bit about that. So
Tesla is it's more on news based as of now. It's just waiting for Musk to complete the selling. As soon as we are done about 60%, I think stock will start moving up.
But I don't know if you saw the tweets today with Bernie Sanders. It's a mess.
I did saw that.
It's a mess.
Yes, he's trying to poke. I just assume that he was not on weed when he was doing that.
Okay. I don't know. He sold quite a bit. I thought he was only allowed to sell a certain amount each quarter. And I thought he made that amount, but maybe I'm wrong. I thought he already hit the amount he was supposed to sell between now and December, but maybe I'm wrong on that.
He said that he's supposed to sell about 10%. So, and he has some option. Like the problem is all of this is regarding the taxes. And this is assuming that, yes, rich have to pay much higher taxes as compared to what they're paying right now. So this is still in discussion, still has not been converted into a law. So he has sell some of it. He may not even do the rest of it, but it totally depends on some factors, which we have no control.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much.
Let's wait and watch what's happened there.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
No worries. Aditya?
Hi. So regarding that Tesla stuff, so I just wanted to add on that. So some companies, so I used to work for Microsoft before. Some companies have a limit on CEOs that they cannot exceed, let's say, 0.19% of the entire board shares. So they are forced to sell. I don't know if it is true with other companies, but if you see like Microsoft CEO, he keeps selling every quarter because he cannot exceed X amount of shares across his board. So maybe regarding that. But my question
He's
is,
not the CEO in Tesla anymore. That's what I understand. He has changed something else, right?
Yeah. So my question is in general. So although we are bullish on the market, generally my habit is I look for some stock which is on the downside and take it. am I trying to overdo that?
It's a wrong way of doing it. You just
Okay.
made money because market was one-sided. Now market is not going to be one-sided.
No. So let's say I am bullish. I have 3 or 4 stocks which are on the upside. I still try to look for a stock which is on the downside as
That's
a hit.
totally wrong way. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
That's a totally wrong way of trading.
Okay.
An investment. Just because the market has done something in the past, it doesn't mean it will repeat that. You need to understand that market has been pumped by enormous amount of dollar amount from Fed and ECB. If they stop doing that, and they are going to do that because inflation is getting out of hands. They have started doing that 15 wheeler. Maybe by the end of June, they'll be zero. And they will also start unwinding, selling off the bonds which they purchased. That will take out the liquidity. And all these companies which are falling now will even go down 50%, 60% down from there on. So there's no point touching unless you know the fundamentals behind the company, unless you agree that yes, there is a margin growth, there is a company expansion, there is a consumer expansion. Otherwise, there's no point just because it has fallen. No, that's totally a wrong strategy. It has worked for people, and many people believe that they know the stock market. It will take only one stock to destroy your portfolio.
True.
Okay, so
Yeah,
don't do that.
It helps. Yeah. Thanks now.
Okay, so we have, hi Joy.
Yes, hi, hi, Naval. Yeah, thank you for your work. What are your thoughts on the airlines and the cruise lines, right? I did see that I think on the 2-week chart, at least for Carnival, I do see like an inside bar.
If I pick up American Airlines,
Mhm.
I don't see on the weekly, I don't see an inside day.
On the 2-week.
Yes, I don't see an inside week. It's the high here is 22 and high here is 20. It's like a 1% gap. So it's not clean on AL. Let me try UAL. UAL is one of the strongest stocks. No, it's getting rejected. Like all these companies are getting rejected from this trend line. Same setup is in AL. So either it needs to come up $50 and try another move. Otherwise, it will continue going down because this is called piercing. When you have a candle, this candle, and the next candle comes to the half, that's a pierce. Okay. If it bounces from here, then it negates the negativity. But if it breaks below here, it will break down to the last lowest level, which is somewhere here. So we need to keep an eye on airlines. Yes, the sector is growing. Airbnb, Dash, they have posted good numbers, but they are numbers which are like highly bloated at this time. The amount of return CCL or NCLH, RCL, or any of these airlines they're going to make, it is going to be humongous. So if you want to invest maybe 1 year, buy options 1 year out in any of these companies or in the airlines. For example, if I have to take UAL, okay. UAL. I'll be looking to add somewhere here of January 2023 options of 60. I'll just buy them, just buy 5 of them and leave them. And don't even look at them. By 2023, they'll be at least 40 to 50.
Okay.
Because it was 90 before the corona happened. And just imagine, Microsoft was how much and now where it is. Netflix was where, now where it is. Amazon was where, Tesla was where. All that money will also come to these companies. Do not underestimate them. Just have a horizon which you can handle. 2023 is an excellent horizon that gives you ample opportunity. And if it starts to move, it will be pretty quick move. It will do 10, 20% moves back to back. Okay,
Thank you.
no worries. Hi, Ravi. You want to speak? Okay. So let's get on to the tickers which we received from the Twitter. APPS. APPS. This, I think Steve asked me when it was 48.49. Let me just draw. This is evening star right here. So on the weekly, so it was not good. On the daily, it's not looking good. It was good right here. Let me just draw some levels on this. And do we have the person who has asked for apps?
Yes, Naval, it's me actually.
So what's your position in app? Like you're coming into this trade now, or you're already planning to add?
Yeah, I actually sold half of it into strength at around that top resistance at that 80 mark, and I forgot to sell the rest. I thought like it would be a good long-term hold, but earnings I think got screwed me. So I don't know. Like, yeah, now I'm under the water for this one. I got in after that pivot break after that 74 on the left hand side, and I rode up till 86. But yeah, I have another half. No, I'm like around 74. My average price now I think it's 69.
It's coming at the long-term support area, but
Mhm.
the trend has negative now.
Yeah,
And if
I
it
think this is
breaks this
also a head and
68,
shoulders on the daily, right? Do you see? I think I'm seeing all the negative things on this
no,
one
it's
now.
it's
So
it's making, but it needs to go up and then come down. But
okay.
if you really want to see very tight head and shoulders, just start from here, goes up here, comes down, and this one. If you want to call this head and shoulders, yes, it is at the neckline. If it breaks, you might see this gap
Oh,
getting filled.
okay, got it.
So it is
So
at a very important level. Like this area is pretty strong. Last time it provided the support, now it should
yeah,
hold here. And that's what it is trying to do. But if it breaks down, then it will not stop.
okay, got it. Are there any Fibonacci levels that we can draw? Actually, I was trying to draw, but I was never able to draw those levels correctly. So my question is now, if I want to do a Fibonacci on this one, so should I just start on that 47 mark, the previous low thing, and just or where do I start? I mean, generally for a Fibonacci.
See, I would start Fibonacci first from here, 18.
Oh, I mean, why is it so? Like, what is the logic behind that? Generally, it would be like a retracement of the bigger move, the most recent bigger move, right? Or
Let's see what I'm doing is right or wrong. Let's see.
okay. Oh,
See, I'm just choosing a rough and look at the 67 line.
okay.
It's acting as a support, right? You see, 1, 2, 3,
Yeah.
acting as a resistance. Once it broke, it jumped. Again, the 67 is coming into the picture.
Okay.
I think I chose the right one. See, why I did this, because I have habit of understanding the charts, so I'm able to do it. You might be doing from here, or maybe from here, or
Yeah,
here.
I was starting from that 47. I mean, that most recent low point 47.22.
That's fine. But once you do that, just see if your candles are coming below the
The
Fibonacci
level.
extensions or not. If they're coming below, then you need to go back. If they are still coming below, go to the back, and back.
Okay. Okay.
That's why I
Got
say
it.
that you need to do back testing just to make sure that yes, it works according to your chart.
Okay.
Yes, Mani.
Let me share my screen. I'm looking at MMM triple M.
1 second. Okay, you can share your screen.
Can you see mine? Or can
It's
you
not
see my
there.
screen?
Not yet.
Okay.
Can anybody see his screen?
No, I think no. Sure.
Or you can
Okay, just
send me the chart if you're not able to.
yes. I think my Mac did not help me. Okay. I'll send you the chat.
Send me the chart on Twitter, and
Yeah.
I'll open that.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so apps is done. NET. And I'll come to triple M. NET, again, there was this tremendous gap between the candles and the EMA. Now that gap is getting filled, consolidated. So it's coming at a very important area, 195. It has held on to this. So till the moment it's holding on to 195 or the 12 EMA, it is all right. It can go back and test to 22 area. But if it breaks this time, it's going to be quick. It will be quick down move. So if you are thinking to go long, better to go long in an area where you are 197, 198, keep a stop loss of 195. That would be my approach. I will not be jumping here on NET. It might run to 222, but that's a very high risk reward. Because if the ratio of risk reward is 50-50, then I would better go to a casino and put it on red or black. This is not there. Because it's right here, right? It might open in between. So I'm between the resistance and between the support. Should I? It will go in any direction, right? And I could be wrong 50%. So I'll not be doing a trade on NET. I'll be better
Okay.
off coming here or better off breaking above this if I'm bullish.
Okay.
So that's NET. Have you posted the chart to me? Message? Not yet.
not yet. Give me 2 minutes.
Then we have NEO. NEO finally, like 3852 was the area which I was discussing with all of you. Now you see this trend line. It's acting as a resistance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. It's making a dodgy. I'll be a buyer at 41, 42 area. If it doesn't come here, if it breaks above this, I'll be positive, super positive. But if it doesn't, I'll be waiting for 41. 41 is a strong area because it has seen the consolidation. If 41 gone, then I'll not be picking NEO. I have better options. This, again, like all these trend lines are there since so many months. And they come in handy because the candles are respecting them. That's why the placement of these Fibonacci or these regression channels is really important. So I'll be taking a trade above 44, roughly 44. Yes, Ravi, you want to speak?
Hey, Naval, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I'm a first-time joiner. Thank you very much for everything. This is really helpful. I have a general question, right? So I'm new to this. So I want to understand the entry points, like you mentioned in the spreadsheet and throughout the presentation. Like, how would you suggest I should approach the entry point as a trigger? Like whenever there's a price tick, that would be my starting point, or would you look for any particular candle to end at that point?
If you can read this, that's what I do. I have a very simple
Okay.
approach. Okay. And then I use 30-minute candle. 30-minute candle gives me a very decent clarity whether I'm going in the right direction or not. People use 5-minute, 3-minute, 10-minute candles. That is too fast for me. I use 30-minute and I use 1234 EMA as my support, candles of resistance, EMAs, and just I follow this approach. If at the close of 10 o'clock, I have an opportunity in any of these areas, I'll pick only one trade of them and trade for the top.
Mhm.
That's it. I do make 20 tickers in my list, but I tend to pick maybe one or at most two. I don't go beyond than that. One good trade is enough. The idea
Right.
is to make money, not the idea is to do multiple trades. I can trade this, make money here, here, and lose here. That's not the point. Point is, end of the day, you should be green. You should be having some money. So
Yeah. Okay.
it
And
builds my patience. It helps me to get out of that adrenaline rush which comes at 9:30 and help me better make money.
right. And if we wait for like this 30-minute candle, and could we lose a lot of momentum by then, or is that still okay?
Try it, and you will realize that I'm not saying wrong.
Okay.
Just try this. That's what I'm saying. Adrenaline rush opportunities. How many do you think that market does not move after 10 o'clock?
Yeah. I know. I'm not saying like I'm
See,
trying to
that's
act
the
big
thing
at
we all
9:30.
need to. It took me a while to understand, accept this, that I should not be trading at 9:30. But once I start doing that, the trades which I pick up are of much higher quality. Because now I have given my time, my patience, and if something doesn't work out, it's all right. Not every day is going to be a green day,
Yeah.
or not every
That's why
day
we
is
have
going
stop
to be a
loss.
good opportunity. So that's the patience you need to build. That's what I've done, and it has helped me a lot. Because I used to be on the clock 9:30. As soon as 9:31 is there, I should have some positions, but I ended up making losses. So I have accepted that it's better to enter at 10, and I'm going to stick to that.
Yeah. Yeah. I wasn't looking for entering at 9:30. I was saying like, if the price moves, let's say even in the middle of the day, I should still look for the 30-minute candle
Yes.
for this entry area. Okay.
Yes.
And going back to your tweet, the first part you mentioned was it has to be in sync with the ES.
I prefer ES. People use SPY. People use SPX. It's a choice. I prefer ES.
Okay, so the direction has to match with ES. So that's
Yes.
another confirmation. Okay.
Yes. If the direction is positive like this, because end of the day, market will move, and market moves will build the trend. Some of them are already in the index, and if market is moving and they are showing a positive momentum at that time, they are the good stocks to pick. Like Apple was doing good on Friday. Facebook was doing good on Friday. And we were there in both Apple and Facebook. And if you are in a position which is running along with the market, I think the probability of losing that trade is less as compared to the rest of the trades.
Okay. Okay. Got it. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Then we have W. We were discussing W. It's a breakout, and it did break out again. 243. It break out. Morningstar came all the way here, tested this 256, 257 area. It's gonna break out. It's a complete inverted head and shoulders. I do want to remind that it's a breakout. It's gonna break here. 276. Don't miss Thanksgiving weekends on these companies. Target, Amazon, Lowe's, HD, they all will move. W, Overstock, all of them, they will move. Then we have Boeing, we discussed Disney. Disney, I will be wait and watch. It's an inside day. It has a gap to fill. If it holds this area 147, 154 is an extremely good trade. But if it comes down to 100 and come on, 157.46, if it breaks 140.57.46, I think that can lose entire momentum in Disney, which it has built over a year and a half. So 157 is very critical in Disney. That's right, David. Closing is where you know the real people. They know exactly what they want to do at the end of the day. Okay, then PANW we discussed Jemaya along with Amazon. I think Jemaya is looking good. It's consolidating. It's come on, don't. Giving the hold here, like it should be somewhere like this. So it's kind of coming to a region where it can break out. It's definitely making a move. It's not a clean, but it's a morning star right here. It's right there, morning star. So any move above 19 should be a good move in Jemaya. Yes, Ganesh.
Hey, thanks, Naval. Thanks for doing all this. It is really very helpful for us, going through all these stickers one after one, and taking a lot of time and patience. We really appreciate that, and also I have a question basically, when you are actually telling about the 30-minute candle closure, and you actually see the 12 and 34 EMA, right?
Yes.
And that is 12 and 34 EMA. Is it 30-minute candle EMA you are talking about, or is it a day candle EMA?
See, when I'm looking at the day, when I'm before the market, I'm looking at the daily candle.
Okay.
It's a 12:30 for the day. But during the market, I prefer to use 30-minute candles because I cannot day trade on a 30-minute on a day trade. So I prefer a 30-minute candle. So this will become a 30-minute EMA and 34 EMA. They follow the candles. It's the 34 candle average. This is a 12 candle average. And just to answer you, I have made this journal, and this is for everybody who wants to trade. Just make something similar. Make a journal that, yes, why you are picking a trade. What is your emotional state? Are you in a meeting? Are you fearful? Are you relaxed? You're having a fight? Do you see any candle pattern? Do you see any news? Do you see the state of 12:34 and 30-minute? Do you see any option flow? Are you chasing? What is the risk and your conviction? Spend 1 minute here.
Okay.
You will have much better trades.
Got it.
Because that rush which pushes us to press the trade button will stop.
Okay. And here, when you say 12 by 34 state, do you see the 12 by 30-minute candle has to close above the 12 by 34 or 12 above 12, something like that, you see?
It totally depends. You need to spend looking at the 12 and 34 on 30 minutes. Like here, it's a break. So the 34 is above the green line, the 12 EMA. It means it's going in a negative trend.
Right.
Okay. Now, if it breaks above this and then there's a convergence, green moves over to the red, that it means it's a positive direction. So I keep that into account. If it is taking the support, or if it's taking the resistance, or it's breaking out the support or breaking out of the resistance. It's a fundamental in the technical trading. If you have done that, you have to follow the EMAs.
Okay.
So it's something that you need to practice yourself just to make sure you understand it. If I explain it, it may not make sense to you, but if you practice it and see that, yes, my close is matching 34 EMA, so I should hold on to this position. If it is above, I should change my direction. Just practice it on paper a couple of times, and then you will understand this more clearly.
Got it. And is there any way you can actually, like, if you can explain like any recent trade you made by using this 12x34, like
I already did that. If you were in the conversation, I did for Amazon.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You can go back to the video.
Okay. Yeah, I will check one more time then.
Yeah,
okay. Thanks.
Check.
Yeah. Thanks a lot now.
No worries. Money, you posted that?
Yes.
Hello, Bobby.
1 second. So this is which one is
SNA? First one is MMM, and second one is SNA.
So triple M is right here. Okay, so in this chart,
I'm bullish on this guy. If it breaks out 185.
triple M is a good company. It breaks out 185. It has potential to go to 190. Yes. The 12 EMA is catching up. So it's most likely tomorrow morning, if it opens above, this is going to be green over red. That's first thumbs up. Second thumbs up is that we are making higher highs and higher lows. That's second. Third is this area, which has been a pain for triple M. If it opens above this area, it has high potential. And you will see that the volume profile here will be pretty thin. As soon as it crosses this, it will have a velocity to run. So yes, you are right on triple M.
Thanks. And SNA, I'm bearish on that guy.
I don't know about that company, brother. Let me just check.
Basically, that came up with my scanner sort of thing. I created some ATR based scanner, and this one clearly stood out as a short.
It's not a short. It's a potential. It's a potential inverted head and shoulders. So
okay,
it's trending the change. It's right here. So it might come back once and then move up. So I'll not be short on
okay. Okay, thanks. Thanks, Naval. This helps me. Thank you very much.
Can you look at AFR?
One second. Yes, Spencer. So if something breaks above my stop loss, it means that yes, the trade did not work in the direction and it can reverse from that point onwards. Yes, that is a correct assumption. Because I don't like to choose both the direction on the trade because at least one of them will be there. It's better to wait for one direction. If that doesn't come out and takes above the stop loss, it's better to move in the other direction. Then at that time, I would look to see the trade which is happening in that direction and update my levels according to that. Yes, please go ahead. Somebody was speaking, right?
Yeah, AFRM, Kamal bhai.
Firm, it's like it started moving, but it's losing its strength. It's in like 143 is an extremely good support area. So it has tried to test it once and twice, and just because it had earnings, it went up, tested the channel. Now, if it breaks below 143, it can lose everything. But if it breaks and manages 143, breaks over 153, it might come to 159. And that is going to be an interesting area where it has seen some consolidation. If it fails this time, it will come down drastically. So a firm has to hold this 143, 159 area. It might consolidate here. If you have options, better to have spreads because the premium kill might happen.
Okay.
Then it's already like 6 o'clock. I'll be just taking 5 more minutes because I need to go somewhere. Let me jump here to Square. PayPal we discussed. Square again, it's similar to PayPal. It's holding this 225 area. So 225 area, till the moment it's holding, it's okay. It can go to 238. If it breaks, then 220. 220 is extremely important area. 225 to 220 is an extremely important support. If it doesn't hold it here, it might lose the entire momentum. It already is down big, but this is really important. So we might see some bounce here in Square. Sophie, we discussed 24 is going to be a pain. Exactly, it happened, came 24 and it gave back. So 24 is really, really important. I need Sophie to break about 24 to show me any positive strength. If it breaks 24, it has massive opportunities. But if it doesn't, then it might fade away once again.
What is view on Riven?
There's no view on that. It's a new company, just 3 days out. I have no opinion on this. It's a fundamental view if you want to buy, but this is at this time very expensive. You might see it 150, but in maybe a week you might see it at 100. You don't know. It's just the momentum which is there. Right now the futures have opened up. 46.85 is there. And so Rivian, I would say I'll not be looking into this company. You can better look at Neo. You can look at Lucid Motors. Rivian at this time is expensive. Path.
Okay.
Like all these companies like Path or Net, they are losing momentum. Like if you're trying to catch the falling knife, there's no need. They're losing momentum and close below the 34 EMA. It can bring it down to this area, 50. So it's better not to jump into this company. I'll not be doing that. MSOS. Cannabis, just buy them. It's getting momentum. You can buy them. You can buy MSOS. You can buy YOLO. They are getting some decent strength. So it's good to have them in your portfolio now. Fubo after the earnings went down significantly and it's not showing any traces of strength. So 23 is the area where I would be. 23 right here acted as the support. So 23 is the area where I would like to enter into Fubo, not in between. Palantir, we discussed that 22, 23 area is an extremely important support. So it should be held. Let's see if it holds onto that area or not. It's struggling right in that area. So 22 is really, really important. Zoom is making a potential morning star. It has given up so much. A bounce can be expected in Zoom. You might see a bounce towards 263 to 270 in Zoom. Stop loss will be pretty confined, 245. I'm just expecting, because fundamentally this is still expensive company and there are many companies which are outsmarting Zoom, like Teams, and a couple of more companies. WebEx is there, GoToMeetings is there. So there's nothing new which Zoom is doing.
How about the Teledoc?
Again, that they are all companies which came into moves with Corona and now they are not going to move. So I don't expect anything much from TDoc. They are like, if they are giving you opportunity, better to exit. You just need to remember, market always gives you one opportunity to exit. You take it or you leave it. If you're already in the market in TDoc, I think it's time to exit because it's not showing any strength. But if you're planning to enter, this is not the stock to enter. RKT, this is one of the struggling companies. Like, it always show potential, but it fails. It never comes out of that. So 1781 is the area which it needs to cross. Okay. PayPal, we already discussed. Microsoft, we can discuss. Microsoft has this area of 382, 342 was the area. And now it's 358. Once it breaks above 338, 39 area, it can jump. And guys, I need to go. And also, like, one request which I need to make to everybody. It's not one-way communication. I have said again and again, please bring in your chart. That is the benefit of discussion. If I have to repeat myself, I have to explain myself, then I'm not doing any justice to me or you. You need to bring in your charts. You need to bring in your points that why you are considering a stock, or why you think there is a pattern, or why you think it can move in this direction. I do not want to stuck in a conversation where I have to speak and speak and speak. It has to be a mutual communication with each other. Right. So I'm just picking last two tickers before I leave, which is Intel. Intel had bad numbers, and since then it has moved up. It made a morning star right there, and from morning star 1, 2, 3, 4 candles up, tested 34 EMA. It's a perfect example. Couldn't hold, came down, break below the 12 EMA. So it might give one more try to fill this gap at 54. It might, with the market direction, it might try. All right, guys, I need to drop now. But again, the benefit of this connect is only going to come if you start pulling out your charts, start bringing ideas. Not like, it's not one-way communication. Otherwise, like, I don't feel motivated to do this. I want people to learn and show rather than me speaking all the time. All right. Thank you very much, and all the best for tomorrow. See you maybe later tomorrow night. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.